my acid reflux medication since I started seeing Dr. David J. Calabro. Somebody listening to that might say, well, what's chiropractic got to do with inflammatory medications and acid reflux, doc? Good to see you.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How about you?
Great to you. Great to see you. Hello to everybody out there. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Great week. Great year so far.
It's great. It's a great day in Atlantic City.
He's like this all the time, just so everybody knows.
So what about that? What about anti-inflammatory medications, doc? How does chiropractic help somebody get rid of that stuff?
We address the cause of things. So when you address the cause of things, inflammation is a result. It's a symptom. It's a sign that something's wrong, something's not right. So you have to figure out, why is this person inflamed? What kind of inflammation? Where is it? And work by finding the causes of that. So if it's joints, we'll adjusting the joints, adjusting the spine, adjusting the extremities, improves function. When you improve function, you reduce inflammation, reduce pain. If it's say they have an inflammatory condition like an autoimmune condition like rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's or colitis or reflux, so you mentioned reflux, things of that nature, autoimmune conditions, you're dealing with a systemic inflammatory response. So you're dealing with adjusting, but you're also dealing with usually food triggers. So we want to find food triggers.
So when you say food triggers, these are foods that cause inflammation.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. People eat them. They don't agree with their body. They produce an inflammatory
And it's
effect.
usually stuff we love, right, doc? Go ahead.
The most common. I'll tell you the top five. The top five are cow milk and anything made with cow milk. Gluten, soy, corn, and eggs. Tuna is up there too. Those are the most common. Then you get into some other things. But now when I say cow milk, you're dealing with cow milk, ice cream, yogurt, cheese, butter, any cream cheese, milk chocolate, baked goods, even tomato sauce. Sometimes you got your vodka sauces. You got some people put cream.
It's funny you said tomato sauce, because I'm reading where even tomatoes can cause.
Well, they are. You got your nightshades that are common. So you got your tomatoes, your eggplant, sweet potatoes. You got your nightshade vegetables that are common inflammatories. Bananas, believe it or not, pineapple. Then you got yeast. You got yeast, wheat. So these are common ones that show up when I do the food sensitivity test.
Right.
But then you can have other things. Garlic is a popular one, or common one rather. Not popular.
So
common.
So anybody
Mushrooms.
listening, these are things Doc provides as part of his practice. The chiropractic practice. He has ancillary services that complement his work as a chiropractor. One of those is a food sensitivity test. And Doc, you can comment on this, because basically what you're alluding to, and I just wanted folks to know that that's what you were talking about, a lot of these ailments that we have are really the result of what we're ingesting, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, a lot of food, diet, toxins, play a role.
This food test identifies.
It doesn't identify every food out there. It identifies the majors, like the major 100, 110, 115 something foods. And then there's an add-on. If you want to do an add-on, I think the test is, what is it, $169 or something, Sal? It's like $169.
179 now.
179, and then it's like a $50 add-on for certain things. And that's what the lab charges. That's what the lab charges that we use. It's like if you want to do a spice and herb add-on, I think it's like 25 popular herbs and spices. Then you got molds. You can add on.
When you say molds,
those are like environmental.
So they'll do a test on you, and the test will determine whether or not you've been exposed to mold?
Well, you're exposed to it, or how you react to it if you were exposed to it. So, right.
Oh, wow.
So you can add those on. Those are add-ons to the basic panel, and then there's the other add-ons if you want to do spices and herbs. But because you could have sensitivity to cinnamon, you could have sensitivity to basil, whatever. There's all kinds of other things you could look at. But yeah, so as far as inflammation, you want to find inflammation. You want to find the cause of what's causing it to begin with. If it's systemic, like an autoimmune condition, we want to do chiropractic, and also use supplements to help control the inflammation naturally, and or we want to do a food sensitivity test to look at potential. And then if
Yeah, because you can do a chiropractic service on somebody and relieve their pain, or if they're in pain or what have you, and they go out and feel. But then if they start eating what
Right.
they're sensitive to, it's just going to amp it
yeah,
right
it's just
back up.
going to It's just going to continually cause an issue. So you want to again address the causes. It's just no different than if they're put on drugs. You know, cortisone shot for something, or they're put on prednisone or whatever. To figure out what's causing the inflammation. These people that are on these anti-inflammatory drugs, have they addressed the cause, and are they continually addressing it? Because sometimes it takes a while to get people's inflammation down. It's
Well,
not immediate.
I was going to say, it can't
It
be.
could take 6 months.
Plus, it's the process of you're deducing
Yeah.
what the you're trying to get to what the root problem is, and initially you might be getting several symptoms that's a wide net, and you want to try and whittle it down.
You start somewhere, and I start with the most common issues, and then if people still have ongoing things, then I might look at a microbiome. I might do a stool test on them and see what is that bacteria microbiome. Do they have pathogenic bioflora? Is that out of balance, creating a gut issue, creating inflammation?
And that would tell you other things.
Yeah, and then you would have to do protocols revolved around that.
And Doc, on the food, but just back to the food sensitivity test just for a moment. You said 150, it tested you for 115 different things, I think you said. Of those, because you've been doing this a while, of those, when it comes back and says, like, Danny's sensitive to bananas, we'll say, or whatever it might be, do you find that addressing that usually ends up helping? In other words, is there do you find that there's a direct correlation between the results you get back, then the prescribed protocol that you implement, and then after that, results that say that indicate eliminating that help this person?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, that's what the whole purpose of the test is for, to identify those, to get more specific to a person's biochemical makeup. It's like customizing it. That's why they call it functional medicine, looking at how your body functions, or clinical nutrition. It's kind of the same thing, just different wording. You're looking at root cause. You're looking at the functionality of someone's body. Why is it malfunctioning? What's going on with its? Why is it not in balance? Why isn't it not functioning in harmony? Why is there disharmony? So, that's what disease is, disharmony. It's a disease process. You don't have, your body's not working at its best, something's wrong, and you have now a disease process. Something went awry, and you have to figure out, why did that happen? And sometimes there's environmental issues. People are in an environment, say there's mold in their house, or they go into a work environment that has mold there, and they have a cough, and they have constant lung issues and breathing issues and asthma and allergies and sinus problems. How are you going to address that? This person has to be on drugs that also have side effects because they're in an environment that's unhealthy. That's a possibility too with some people. I have teachers that are in schools they're now hypersensitive to mold because they were exposed to that, or they work at the DMV, which is a popular one that doesn't have a necessarily great environment in there. And there's a lot of people reacting to those things. So.
When it comes to
that,
that,
ratted out the DMV. Take that back.
It's their building. It's a given.
It's an issue. I'm going to say, as a practitioner, as a health practitioner, seeing that in people going into an environment every day, and you're talking about is something where I could do all these things to them and help them, but they're going to have recurring problems because they're going into an environment every day that they're reacting to.
I want to ask you about that. We got a break we got to take, but real quick before we go to break, maybe you can start, and then we'll pick it up on the other side. If somebody's in an environment that is hostile to their body, Doc, whether it's be mold or something like that, can there, obviously there are things that like you were talking about, coughing, sneezing. Can there be headaches? Can there be like lethargy? I don't have any energy. All of a sudden I feel like, I mean, are there things, but you can't see the mold, so you might not even know that it is that.
Correct. That's one of those things.
Does the food sensitivity test help? Well, I guess that's a different test.
Or it can if you do a mold add-on, but also, if there are other mold tests to see if you actually have that in your body. You know, you could do screenings for that.
Oh, so if you were suspicious, that might be one way to
Right,
determine.
like if say I'm doing all these things and someone's just not responding, or we find out that we narrow it down to maybe like they're going into an environment that's recreating these things all the time. You know, they're out of their job and they start feeling better, but every time they go to work, so there's something there, whether it's stress from their job or they're an environmental issue in their job that they're having a health problem or reaction to. So we have to, you know, my job is to try and find root causes, try and address people and naturally without drugs and surgery to help them achieve better health or regain their health or heal from something. But if they're going into an environment that's a negative or that's affecting them, we have to figure out how do they get through that.
And you do that over trial and error over time.
Yeah. So those are some of the things that you try all these things, these protocols, someone's still not responding, or you narrow it down where, okay, you got them better, but now we figure out, okay, they go into this environment, that's the problem, their environment. How do we, you know, can they even still work there?
Well, that's
if it's, you know, or should they? If it's 20 years down the road, they're going to have cancer. You know, it's just not, their best interest might find a different job.
Hey, folks, stay right there. We got to take a quick break. Going to do that. Come right back. We got Chef going to tell us what's biting out there in the oceans in the Back Bay. Chef on fishing. I got a news flash here from Rich Bailey. Says 200 protesters are over at Congressman Jeff Andrews' office. What are they protesting? Does anybody know?
What, the guy, maybe the Palestinian that they're holding?
Oh,
that's the protest today, apparently.
Folks, we got to take a quick break, and Shep will tell us what's biting out there in the seas, the back bays, and we'll come back on the other side, finish up with Dr. David J. Calabro. You got a question for the doc? 609-927-1100.
Unless there's something here in New Jersey.
Hey, Facebook, what's going on?
Hi. Hello.
Sally, why do you look so serious?
All-American WOND.
Because I'm not on the camera?
Let's go break. Enough with the old time stuff. He's like he's got his own little world going on there. We got a show going on here, brother.
Authority on the world of fishing, Michael Shepard.
Hope you're having a great Thursday.
Stop out of it.
Why are you so serious? Just kidding.
I try and have fun even in difficult situations.
Yeah. That's why I said he's always like this.
What's that, Dr. Dave?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. At least it keeps everybody, in a good mood. Keeps them.
Mr. Sarcasm. All day long.
It's nice sarcasm. It's not very malicious sarcasm.
Okay.
To you, it might be a little more malicious. To most people.
I trippy laughs.
Yeah, well, I've always done that. Don't get hurt.
Don't get hurt in front of Dave.
Just so you guys know. There's only 8 minutes left.
I know. Well, I got caught in all kinds of traffic in there.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. I can't believe how fast time is flying, man.
We do all right on our own.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
No, we make it work.
You do. I have no complaints.
Well,
At least not on Facebook Live.
Not while people are listening.
hey, how you doing? So actually, I asked how many supplements do you have? Like, I know you got the vitamin C, you got the zinc, quercetin. She was talking about B vitamin, foliate.
B folate.
Oh man, we got all
Like he was asking about B vitamins, and there's so many.
Like, what other supplements do you have?
Oh my goodness, tons. I mean, we got probably 50, 60 supplements that we have
Really?
in stock. But, you know, I don't, as time goes on, you learn
Like
to
in
just
stock,
order.
these are stuff that you have at the store. At
People
the,
come
at
up
the,
with them, yeah. Yeah, anything from your basics, multivitamin, omega-3s, probiotics,
protein, you got that?
protein powder. Yeah, people want protein powder. We cut amino
You
acids.
probably got the good stuff, right? The stuff that gives you real good mass.
Amino acid blends, like digestive aids, stuff to support the immune system, essential oils. We have like,
Now wait, go back to stuff to support the immune system. There's this, what is it, air, with the multivitamin, the airborne. Do you have something like that? That's probably better.
we have things better than that, but Airborne, people could just go to the store and buy it. I don't carry something like Airborne.
No. I
But
know you don't.
we
carry
have
that.
things that are more potent than that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And vitamin
We
D.
have things that you can't get in the store to some degree because they only deal with professionals, health professionals, or nutritionists, and they're not in the commercial market.
These are high grade
They're
stuff.
higher grade. Yeah.
So, like for example, Sally was talking about. I was saying to Sal, hey Sal, like one a day, like the multivitamin one a day.
Yeah.
And she's saying, well, we have our own version of one a day. You have a multivitamin. Does that have a lot? Is that got a good punch to it? Doc? Has got a lot of good stuff.
It does, yeah. And something like Centrum is crap. You know,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Centrum Silver is
One a day.
one a day. It's you're not getting a good variety. You're probably not getting a lot of absorbable things. The cheaper it is, the less quality.
Well,
it is.
when I said to Sally, I said,
So,
boy, they did a great job with that one a day, because basically it's a marketing.
Yeah.
You name your product one a day. You say it's a bunch, everybody thinks, well, I take one a day.
One a day.
You know, and really, it's probably got very little.
You want to make sure that it's highly absorbable. That's why I like supplements that have like the CGMP grade and a couple other things, because that's a higher level. They're held to a higher level of standard, close to like an FDA standard of how they're supposed to hold their facility, the ingredients, the absorbability, the bioavailability.
Well, that's very good, because most supplements that aren't covered by the FDA, are they?
Yeah, this is not FDA, but if it's like equivalent to
Right.
an FDA standard,
Sure.
CGMP, certified good manufacturing product or processes or practice, and it's you want to. I
Like
like
a
to
good
see
housekeeping
on,
standard.
yeah, because they're held to higher standards, so you know that it's purer, it's cleaner. It's what's on the bottle. You're going to absorb most of that, or it's high.
I've read
quality.
some things where some of these vitamins got very little nutritional value. Like,
Correct, because they're full of fillers, or they're using forms that are cheaper, but they're not absorbable by the
We now
body.
return you to the Klein Time Freedom Zone on News Talk 1492.3 WOND.
Oh, yeah, welcome back to the program. Dr. Dave in the studio. We got Sally doing the Facebook feed. Hey, Facebook, what's going on over there? Doc, only 4 minutes left in the show. Time is flying by. We were talking during the break. Might as well continue that conversation about supplements. And Sally and I were talking about that a little bit earlier in the program. And then we're talking with you during the break. I mean, your level of supplement, you got a lot more than the 4 that we mentioned. Doc, talk a little bit about the different
Yeah,
supplements.
all kinds. Anything from immune support. And we have
These are good
concoction ones. They're high quality. Some of these are not going to be able to get in the store because they don't deal with commercial. It's they deal with practitioners, doctors, nutritionists, and so they're higher grade, higher absorbability, higher quality. So I always say look at supplements that have that CGMP label, certified good manufacturing processes or products. They're held to a higher standard of quality. They're screened for certain things, and you're going to get what's called bioavailability. What's on the bottle you're going to get in the forms, or at least close to them as possible. Where you get a Centrum or Centrum Silver, which is junk. That's, you might as well just not even buy it.
And they're cheap. And they're not cheap. They're like, $6-7
The
for a
cheaper
bottle.
they are, the less quality they are. I mean, or the less ingredients and less costly because they're cheaper, or they're not absorbable or not used by the body efficiently. So people might think, oh, I just go get my Centrum Silver and I'm good, and no, it's not really that good. So but again, supplements are to supplement the body, support the body. They're not there to live off of and still continue your bad habits.
No.
It's like you don't want to take supplements that help with reflux, but then you think you can keep eating a bad diet and your bad food, and I'll just pop all these things. That's not how it works. They support living a good lifestyle. They kind of fill in the blanks of things you might not be getting, because we never know what we're getting in our food anymore, or the quality of it, or what we're absorbing, or nutritional soil and how.
Well, no, finish your thought. I was going to ask you, because we only got a couple minutes left, so I figured it'd be a nice thing to close on, and that would be, what do you think of Robert Kennedy as the Health and Human Service? He seems,
excited.
he seems to want to take the country into a get healthy mode, and he seems like a holistic kind of guy.
Well, I'm excited. I like the fact that he's challenging the status quo, and I think it's needed, because it's obvious we have a lot of problems in this country health-wise. We're one of the sickest nations, yet we're supposedly have the best science and the best healthcare and all this other stuff. Yet the way we live is killing us and just depreciating our health. And we know that, like he said, we have tens of thousands of things here that we use that are banned in other countries because they know they cause health issues. Why are we using them?
Why are we using them?
And I always make comment the other day, earlier to somebody about smoking. When we're talking about all these red dyes in all these things in foods that are killing people, yet we still put something on the market that people can buy to kill themselves and cause cancer, and yet they're doing something that's going to cause them to go to the healthcare system and need healthcare and raise healthcare costs.
Right.
And I understand
And
it's
cancer,
addictive and
too.
people enjoy it, but the consequences down the road
100%.
are just deadly and costly. So I don't know.
Doc, our time has come and gone. Dr. David J. Calabro, the office number 609-653-9501, online at calabrochiropractic.com. A lot of great information on their website. Thank you so much, Sally. Thanks to everybody on Facebook for checking us out as well.